With extremely powerful weapons coming as part of Into the Light, the DPS meta will for sure be getting a shake up, and I think none will have a larger impact than the Edge Transit, which is basically just a beefed up cataphract, an already top tier damage contender. But with this, it's important to consider what other weapons would be the best pairing options. Here's what we have to work with. First, it is Void, so having a Void high burst damage special ammo option would be the best choice due to matching weapon surges. Secondly, its God Roll will be Cascade Point with bait and switch. So, the other weapon choices are both relevant in activating bait and switch, and at least one of them needs to activate Cascade Point. And this has all led me to the Spire of a Watcher Grenade Launcher Wilderflight. Reason being, it's Void, it's already used as part of boss DPS rotations, and it will be getting buffed even more per the patch notes on this week's TWAB. And this will also allow for a kinetic slot option to activate Cascade Point. Snipers do this best, with only 2 crits required, while they themselves are a decent damage option too. Supremacy can do this easily. An enhanced kinetic tremors roll is especially nice, but this could also be done with Izanagi's Burden. But not in the traditional sense though, as you need to fire off 2 shots while normally with Izanagi you would only use 1. But with on-the-go reload options, this is very much possible. Try one of these. Load in a honed edge shot and use a rain of fire boots to top up the mag. Fire the honed edge shot and an extra shot, load in another honed edge shot, dodge again, then cycle through your other weapons. It sounds a bit complicated, but it's not really, and this could be done with other auto reload options such as Strand Thread of Ascent or the Hunter Dodge. Or even easier yet, you could just use the mod Kinetic Holster to load in the extra shot needed while cycling through your other weapons. You will have to drop a surge to do this though, but it's the easiest option. Anyway, back to the Wilderflight. What should you be looking for on this? Ideally a combination of these 3 perks: Spike Grenades, Auto-Loading Holster, and either Vorpal or Frenzy. But as I will get into, obtaining a God Roll can be quite the task. Really, Auto-Loading Holster is the important part, as this fits perfectly as part of a weapon rotation. Spike Grenades adds about 4.7% damage compared to other options, which is nice to have, while Vorpal or Frenzy add 15% each. Frenzy does need to be active, but also comes with the benefit of maxing out the handling stat, and the Wilderflight can be obtained from the Spire of a Watcher dungeon per season encounter. This was farmable a few weeks back, which I tried, quite unsuccessfully, to pick up a God Roll, but got a few which were decent, although not perfect. And this dungeon will be farmable again on April 30th. However, you can still run this on all characters up until then, and there's quite a decent chance you'll get at least a few to drop. Be sure to loot the hidden chest too, as it can also drop from these. Now, since Edge Transit isn't actually in the game yet, but I wanted to show off how this would work, I subbed it in with a Regnant with Cascade Point. Against the boss target, a rotation would look something like this, but the Edge Transit will have both Cascade Point and Bait and Switch. But on top of that, it will also be possible to double perk Cascade Point and Envious Assassin in the same column. So with that, you could overflow the magazine with Envious and then swap over to Cascade Point when it's time to damage a boss target. A 21 size mag will be possible this way, meaning you will only need to reload once to dump your whole reserves, firing 8 shots per weapon rotation, as this is how long Cascade Point will remain active. Finally, a few things I stumbled upon when just trying out some different options. It might make sense to have a Void Sniper, but the problem is there's nothing good here. For rapid fires, which you ideally want, you have the Father's Sins, which just does not have any real perks, which leaves the only somewhat decent option being the Fugu 55 with Auto-Loading Holster and Vorpal, but this is part of a weak archetype overall. The Mountaintop could be a contender to make this worthwhile, but as of now I am quite unsure, and we will have to wait anyway for that to become available at a later date, since the Mountaintop is not part of the day of release weapons. Also, a nice thing is due to the low ammo requirement of Wilderflight as part of a DPS rotation, needing at most like 5 shots. It's fine to use options such as forbearance during non-boss parts of the encounter, then swap to the Wilderflight just before damage. Swapping from a special to a special does preserve some ammo, making this viable. Thank you for watching.